Hello. Happy Friday. Okay, so connection as usual. I am having a technician maintenance person come out today after the stream. Supposedly they will arrive somewhere between the 3 and 4 o'clock hour. We hope. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they will be able to figure out what in the world the problem is this time. But that's how things are going. So I do have a card for today, and the card of the day is the squirrel spirit. He's very cute. He's one of those that has like sort of the longer ear tufts, which I think is adorable. So we have the squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. So that is a very, very nice message to have. So squirrel spirit. Let me go ahead and go to avatar mode now that I've shown the picture. So squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. It says you have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all that you need. An abundance of resources is available to you through the generosity of the world and all your hard work. Squirrel spirit shows up when you need reminding that the acorns you have gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow, so relax in the knowing that there is always enough and you have what it takes to create the reality you want to experience. I like that. That is a good card for us writers who are growing stories and also have imposter syndrome, because I find that is a thing that I have. So let me see if I can share the screen today, if that's going to be a thing that is allowed. Timer. Okay. Maybe it will allow it today. We'll see. I asked what we are hydrating with today. I have had coffee. I have had water. I have more water by my side. I also have had a honey mango today, which was very juicy. And if you have not ever tried a honey mango, they are beginning to come into season. So you maybe should start looking for them. And they specifically say they're a different type of mango. And so if you tart fruit, if you get them when they're just like, and then if you leave them to finish ripening, they get extremely sweet, which is why they are known as honey mangoes. So I recommend them if you can find them at your local grocer. They are very delicious. So yes. And Devin is here and says howdy. Hello, Devin. How are you? It's the final day of winter. Is it? Yes, it is. I forgot about that. And then I looked it up and I forgot that I had looked it up. But yes, it is the last day of winter. The first day of spring for North America will be tomorrow. So yay. Sarah says, hello, hello. How are you doing? Are you reveling in the fact that you are done with the revisions? Are you taking a break today, or are you starting something new? What are you doing today? And CB says, I am proofreading and posting things just now. Excellent. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Megan says, hello, all. Hello. I hope you're doing well today. And Alexis is here. Hello, Dawdling. Hello, back as well. And Shadow's Lair is here. Hello. And Petra says, hiya, people. And then Shadow's Lair says, goodbye, winter. Yes. Okay, and Sarah says, I'm hydrating with water right now. I've had some black tea already, and you will probably have coffee in an hour or so. Very nice. Very nice, yes. And Laura says, just had a scare with the rat home right now. Oh no, thought he was dying. Oh, so lethargic and sad and not eating. Did something? Well, I don't know. Did they? Set, poor Set. I hope he feels better soon. And Devin asks, is he going to be okay? Yes. Yeah, I want to know if he's going to be okay too. So Shadow's Lair says, oh no, so sorry. Yes, it's never fun when pets get sick. Never, never, never. Alexis says, have you been reading the bunny your stories again? I don't think that would do it. I think Set as the as the namesake of the evil god from Egyptian mythology. I don't think that Laura's stories would scare him. So Sarah says, I'm taking a short break from writing to work on a plan for Q2 today. That is a good idea. This weekend, you're going to work on the outline for book 3, so you can finish writing that in April for camp. Nice. Or just in April. Laura says, have to syringe feed him for a few days, antibiotics and pain meds. Can't afford diagnostics. Yeah, that's scary. I'm sorry. Hopefully whatever it is will pass quickly, and he can be up and about his usual self, rattling the cage for food. Laura's stories are scary. Sometimes. Okay, so, well, I mean, in some ways he's considered, yeah, I would, yes. So from what I remember, Egyptian deities are not my strong point, so you are probably correct in this, at least much more than I am. But I remember, I mean, he's sort of like I say evil pretty lightly, but like necessary evil in order for the arrangement of the pantheon, because he has to kill the god who becomes the god of the underworld type thing. And yeah, so necessary, but who knows. So Set revels in scary, yes. You had another story accepted. Yay! Was that the one that you were waiting for? That's exciting. Yay! I did go take a look has been on sending in pieces to Ghost Orchid Press. And I took a look at some of their open submissions, and one of them actually sparked an idea in my brain, even though it's not really the genre that I typically write. And so I yesterday wrote about like 700 words trying to get this idea out. And I realized that I wanted to write it in first person, but I'm just so bad at writing in first person that or it doesn't feel natural to me, that I'm having to sort of like think about whether or not first person would really benefit the story, or if I can switch it to third person. So but yes, so that's super exciting, Laura, and I'm super happy. You are doing amazing. What does that make? Does that make a dozen or 13 stories that you've submitted already this year? He does play an antagonistic role. Yeah, that's sort of the main story that I was remembering. So yay! Is he lonely? No, he's an antisocial bunny. Laura, you're so funny. Yes, Set is the bunny's name. Yes. Okay, so I think I need to do some planning like Sarah has been doing, and I also want to work kind of on some stuff that is not Project Gray. So I'm going to be bouncing around between probably that story idea that I had the other day, and also working with my series planning for Chimera Moon and then for Q2. So those are the things that I'm going to be working on today. And I do need a warm-up sprint today, so I need this 15-minute start to kind of ease into, because I have not written anything yet today. Bad me. But that is what we're going to do as a start. And so yes. Okay, so 15 minutes. Let's make sure that you have your reminders. So 1, if you have your document open, go ahead and save it. 2, make sure that you have something to hydrate with. 3, make sure that you straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, and do a posture check. And 4, if you need a walk around or if you need to do something productive rather than writing during this first sprint, that is perfectly fine. Just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Okay, those are your reminders. We can now go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that is the end of sprint number 1. How'd you do? I saw that, let's see. Tessa popped in. Well wishes, Tessa. You're in the hospital again. You don't have access to your book to do edits. The most you can do is try and take notes on your iPhone. I hope you feel better soon. And I know that's very frustrating. But I really do hope you feel better soon. So Devin also wishes you well. And so does Courtney. And hello, Courtney. And CB says, I finished editing chapter 5 of Along Came a Family. Nice. Petra got 161 words. Excellent. Maggie is here and says, I feel better, Tessa. Okay, so Shadow's Lair chose to be productive and do some chores during the first sprint, which is very nice. I did some bullet journaling and then switched over to a like a nano prep workbook thing, because I think I want to go ahead and try again, I should say, to write the first draft of the first book in my paranormal romance series, so the Chimera Moon one, and that's the one that I spent all of October and November world building the entire framework of this story. So I think I might be ready to pick it up and like actually plot and draft the first book in the series. Especially since I feel constantly sort of like stuck and frustrated with Project Gray. So I think I'm not really, I'm not giving up on Project Gray. I need to make it, I think, back burner for right now and get my brain sort of wrapped around some other things. So anyway, so that's what I am working on. So I just picked up the prep workbook and I'm reading through some of the things at the introduction of the little workbook. So there's that. Tessa says thanks. And Petra also sends well wishes. And Shadow's Lair accomplished laundry and feeding the animals. And Sarah says, I'm working on a timeline for the year of what you need to work on to manage the publication dates you want for these next 2 to 3 books. Very nice. Very nice. I am, so I went to the store. I don't remember which day, but I did go to the store and I bought some more Post-it notes. And I have tried over and over again to use the sticky notes from like the Dollar Tree because they're way cheaper. But I wind up having to use some washi tape to stick them to my little Kanban board anyway. So that's been frustrating. So I'm essentially just going to be using the sticky notes from the dollar store for notes that I know that I'm going to throw away pretty much soon after I use them. And then so I've bought like actual Post-it brand sticky notes, and I've bought the sort of like, I don't know what you call them, like the miniature ones, the like the ones that I see most people using for Kanban boards. But I also bought page flags. So those are like the little skinny ones that are intended to be used as kind of bookmarks, but also just like sort of like very minimalist notes. And sort of like you put them next to the paragraph or the line that you intend that note to be about. or just use them as tabs so that you know where things are. And I've purchased those because I think I want to use those on my Kanban board next time. Because like most of my goals on there are like finish act 1. So it's not a whole lot of writing. So I think that is what I'm probably going to be using for my Kanban board next time, is the page flag markers rather than like either the full or the miniature sized post-it notes. So I might turn on the camera for like just a few seconds. So, okay, so these are the ones that I had been using. These are the ones that I think I will use this time. So there you go. And we're back to avatar mode. So I think that's going to be what I am going to use for setting up Q2 and see how that goes. But that's not today. I'm not going to be doing that today. And I'm also thinking, do y'all keep the sticky notes that you have accomplished and sort of like do a year end, like look at all the things I did, or do you just go ahead and toss them? My hoarding instincts, are they taking over? And like, should I just throw them away? CB also says feel better to Tessa, and Charlie, I believe this says hey hey, because that's your normal. But let us know if it's not. CB is headed off to get some medicine, and there's the hey hey that we're used to. You forgot to change your keyboard back to English. Oh no. All right, I think we are ready. Excuse me. I think we are ready to do another sprint. And I am, I think, okay and ready to do a 25-minute. So let me set that up. So while I am setting that up, do not forget to save your document. Do not forget to drink something. And to make sure that you are not hunching, go ahead and straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back to do a posture check. And make sure that if you need a walk around or a longer break, or if you need a snack from the kitchen, you make sure that you are taking care of yourself as you write. Those are your reminders. We can now get started with our second sprint, 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay. All right, that is the end of sprint number 2. How'd you do? I got a couple hundred words maybe. I'm feeling kind of restless today. So that little workbook was not what I initially thought it was going to be. It was more of like the companion to what I thought it should have been. So, you know, that was a little distracting, but I did, what I could with that. So I've set that off to the side, and then there was like a minute left and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I went back to my bullet journal and kind of sketched out some things for April, because I have not yet set up April, but I do know of a date that I won't be able to really like do my normal writing. It's not one of my streaming days. It's just a day that I have to play show for a family member. So, yeah. Okay, but how'd y'all do? My brain is just not really wanting to focus today. I'm gonna get there though. I'm gonna get there. Okay. So Key is here. Key Clavis, welcome. How are you? Greetings and hallucinations. And said, sorry I'm late. Had to deal with wonky internet. Hacker has been trying to take over your router. Oh, fortunately you're a network engineer and you put extra security in place. Oh goodness. How were they just like trying to steal your router like power in order to make their own better? Were they just trying to like use yours like a freeloader? Well, I mean, I don't know what it would look like if somebody was trying to steal or hack into your router. Charlie says, I used to keep a receipt spike to put the Kanban sticky notes on, but now you just throw them away. And Sarah says, I have no place to put them. I won't go back and look at them. So into the trash they go. I'm sorry. I need to take this call from the internet provider because they are going to come. So let me mute myself and set up a timers. Okay, apparently all that was just the pre-recorded message. My apologies for that. That was just their pre-recorded message of like, by the way, we're still coming to see you. So anyway, that was frustrating. Okay, so we don't have to go immediately into a sprint, but we will in just a bit. So okay, so Key arrived and Oscar arrived. Yay! And Shadow got 288 words that time. Nice. And Charlie said, have I seen this? Is this what I think it is? Grr. Okay, I'm going to go back into avatar mode. And we're going to set up the stinking timer. And we're just going to go into the next sprint. I find it so frustrating, but hopefully they can actually like figure out what the problem is. It would be lovely if they did. Okay, it's going to be the third sprint, 25 minutes. Save your documents. Make sure you're hydrating. Make sure that you are stretching, and make sure that if you need a longer break, you take one. Take care of yourself. Okay, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. It is the end of the third sprint. That is done. Hooray. How to do? I am still kind of unfocused. I was a little bit more focused that time. So I feel like I made some progress that time, but handwriting, so not entirely sure how many pages. Doing okay though, I think. Yeah, I think I'm doing okay. Let's see. Shadow's Lair was going to be doing some cleaning with that sprint. Laura got home with the bun, cleaning his cage that he uses as a litter box. Need to analyze fresh droppings. Yes. CB was struggling with Virgin Media. Yeah. I don't know that I can say any one way or the other because I've not dealt with them, but I suspect that most large corporate entities are very ableist, discriminatory, and they care about their bottom line rather than individuals. Once you get up to a certain size, I think that is inevitable. Maggie says, my hungover brain just flashed to the scene in Jurassic Park where they were digging through the Triceratops droppings. Devin. Shadow's Lair folded some laundry and emergency cleaned a flooded laundry room. Oh no. Oh no. Did the washer break, or was there accidentally too much soap? What happened? Sarah says, more planning stuff and got coffee. I think I drank and then refilled my water that time. So there is that. Elivira says, hello. Hello, how are you? I don't know what I'm doing today. I just feel like I'm bouncing between so many things, and I think that might be part of the problem. So I think I need to just like choose one and get done with it, or at least make some significant amount of progress to where I feel I can set it aside. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those unfocused days. I wonder if I maybe should not have had coffee, or maybe it's like the fact that there's the internet person coming today, and so I'm like anticipating that he or she is going to be able to fix things, or they're going to tell us that we have to spend more money for something that has worked for 8 months. And then all of a sudden, anyway, sorry. Courtney says, made some character sheets in Campfire Blaze, trying to get your story a little more organized. There you go. Made an oops and left a filter valve open. Ooh, ouchies. One of the things we always have to check for in our household is pockets for Kleenex, because my mother has a very, very bad habit of sticking Kleenexes in her pockets because she's not near a trash can at that moment or whatever when she's out and about. This has not happened really since COVID because we're generally here. And if she goes out, she has the mask on. So it has not been a thing in recent times, but generally we always have to check mom's pockets for Kleenex because they get washed and then you have little bits of Kleenex everywhere. Oh well. CB's had issues with Virgin Media for 5 years, and you have had to tell them the same thing 5 times. You would think that they would have it like in the file now, but guess not. Some cookies. Ooh, what kind of cookies? Snack break. I approve. Cookies are always a welcome snack break. Okay, it is 2:37. So we can do a 20-minute sprint. And that will put us near the top of the hour. And I think Michael Chen is going to be sprinting at the 3 o'clock or at 3:15, along with some others. So Fridays are always fun for the evening sprints as well. So I don't want to go over too much today. So let's make sure that we go ahead and do a sprint, another sprint. So we'll get 4 sprints in. They'll pretty much be all like decent sized. So not too bad. All right. Save your documents. Make sure that you drink something. Make sure that you do a stretch with your hands, your wrists, or your spine. Make sure you get some of your blood flowing. And make sure that if you need a break, you take a break. Those are your reminders. And we can now get started with our 4th sprint, 20 minutes long, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, well, that is the end of the 4th sprint. I started doing my some more stuff for like April bullet journal, and and then I tried to do the heading, and it looks terrible. It just looks terrible. So I might need to sort of like use one of the spare perforated pages and like cover over that bit, because it just doesn't look right. Oh well. But that's what happens. It doesn't really match the vibe of the rest of the page, and I know that I will hate looking at it, so that needs to be fixed. But I got a little bit done, so that kind of makes me feel nice. Kind of. I mean, I feel like I was kind of all over the place today, but I did manage to get some work done, and hopefully after the technician leaves today, I will be able to get some more done. So that's hopefully going to be what happens. I hope. How many squares is that? 4? Yeah, it's essentially 4. I'm glad that my brain remembered to go ahead and sort of like keep a couple of the stray pieces in the back, like ready to cut and reuse. Like, just be like, this is not what I asked for, or not what I intended when I drew this. So I will be able to rescue the monthly calendar spread from looking like a hideous hot mess. So hooray for that. I don't know, like this week has felt very like, despite, I mean, I've hit 2K, over 2K a couple times this week, so it feels nice in that regard. I still have quite a bit of work that I would like to do, and I'm still working on getting done. So it's a process, I guess. It's just going to be one of those things that this feels like I don't know, just a random work week that is not quite what I want. So, but we all have those weeks. Don't tell me you're out of sticky. All right. One of these days, I'm going to get this thing to work. I've got one of those roly tape dispenser thingies for like scrapbooking and such. And it has been very helpful for fixing mistakes and things in my bullet journal. But if I don't use it often, it's sort of like the very top of it gets kind of gummy and all that kind of fun stuff. So, hooray. Yeah, that's the perfectly flat edge. Okay. Of course, I probably did it backwards, but oh well. That's what you get when you make mistakes. Okay. There. Sort of fixed. It's at least not as obvious anymore, I think. Oh, CB finished proofreading. Yay! That is awesome. And Key says, okay, I got very little done. Fell down a YouTube rat hole while doing research. They will do that to you. They will do that to you. And Sarah did some planning for next week. Very nice. and The Shadow's Lair. Got 139 words and learned a bit about skinning a deer. Nice. There are, I'm sure, lots of resources on how to do that. But yeah, it's not something that I really think about having to do until I have my characters be like, oh, they need to prepare this. So I still think, oh gosh, oh, what is the name? It's not Hatchet, but it's the one where the boy lives in like the Catskill Mountains during the winter and he hollows out a tree and he talks about preparing rabbit skins and deer skins, I think. Oh, My Lonely Mountain? No. What is it? Is it My Lonely Mountain? I don't, oh gosh, that's going to bother me. What is the name of this? Please tell me someone else knows like which mountain or which book it is. It's a young boy who goes out and wants to, I can't remember if he runs away or if he like has permission to like go live in the mountains. I think he runs away. Yes, The Other Side of the Mountain. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Yes. Yes. I was like, what is the name of this? Yes. So this was a fun read. It's a quick read. And it does have some nice sort of, along with like the Hatchet, sort of like a figuring out how to do this for the first type of thing, for the first time type of vibe with this kind of survivalist stuff. So yes. Yes. Thank you. A book you've never read, but okay, so I have read both Hatchet and The Other Side of the Mountain, and I enjoyed them both growing up. So if you are looking for something fun to read, it's relatively fun, relatively quick. So if you have nothing else to do and it's in your local library, go for it. So yes. Okay, so let me scroll back up now that I've like tried to figure out where I was. So Ellie Vera is still working. Good for you. And Megan was doing job searching. So far, no luck. It's very stressful. Yes. Yes. 100% agree. Petra says 205. Very nice. Elvira says, I know what you mean. It's that kind of work week you're having as well. Yeah, and I don't know if it's because the weather is nice and my body is going like, you should be outside, or if it's just like the pollen that is letting my body know you should stay inside. It's one of those type of things. Charlie says, many of us have had one of those weeks. Yeah, you're glad to be back to writing and streaming tonight. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And have you been able to play with the makeup that you got? Is it fun? I have no idea what I'm doing with makeup. So other than like, I can put an eyeliner on. It won't match to the other eye, but I can put one on. So MM Ward says December 108th, 2020. Yes. So Maggie has a tip. If you need to have a whetstone handy when skinning a deer so you can sharpen your knife halfway through. Yes, I would agree with that. Although I've never actually done it, but that sounds like a very reasonable thing to do. Sarah says, a book I've never, yeah, okay. I think we're back to where we were. I think you might have a nap and you are exhausted. Go for it then. Sarah says, I think I remember discussing The Other Side of the Mountain with your husband, who read and liked both of those books when he was a kid. Yeah. I think I tried to read everything that Gary Paulson wrote after I read The Hatchet. And I remember that other than Hatchet, I think my favorite one was Canyons. So I think, yeah. But so The Other Side of the Mountain, and then there's a sequel to that, which is The Far Side of the Mountain as well. And that one was pretty good. Again, not quite as good as the first one, but there were elements of the sequel that I really liked. Same with like the Hatchet sequel, and I think there was the third one as well where he like goes down the river. And there was another book that I absolutely do not remember the title of, where is a young girl protagonist who is sent to live with a very distant relative, who I think is related by marriage and not by blood, but she's sent to Alaska, and she's very introverted, very sort of disillusioned young lady, and she gets involved in the community because they don't want to leave her out. She gets sort of sucked into the Alaska wilderness for beauty because she likes photography. And there's like, she learns to drive a boat because they're doing the salmon run is happening. And she sort of gets into a conflict with some bald eagle poachers. And like, that one was also a fantastic book, but less survivalistic, more community based. But I do not remember the name of that, and I wish I did because I'd gotten rid of it, and I wish I hadn't. So yeah. So if you know the name of that one too, you can definitely tell me that as well. But I don't think that based on my vague descriptions, it's very not likely that you know which book I'm talking about. And I'm not sure I would even recognize the name of it if you said it to me. Charlie says, a bit you've played with the makeup a bit. You hope to have at least something on. Nice. Megan says, wet spelling. Yes. But there are specific whetstones that do need to be wet. Like they require more moisture. So that's also a fun thing too. Laura says, I liked both of them as a kid. Nice. My Side of the Mountain and Hatchet. Yes. And CB says, I ordered Emma on audiobook and the movie. No spoilers, please. All right. I will do my best. Yes. Yes, those are the names of them. Megan says to CB, I can't wait to hear what you think about it. It's a pretty good book. Not your particular favorite of Jane Austen, but it's up there. Gotcha. Do I still? Yes, I do. I have like the Jane Austen 7 novels, like giant tome from Barnes & Noble. CB says, truthfully, I just can't wait to see Gwyneth Paltrow in something other than Marvel. Yeah. It was very, I think it was like a Scholastics book or something. I don't remember. But anyway, okay. I think that is going to be it for me today. I will be back on Sunday, and please, I will edit the title of the Sunday stream. I have it right now as glitchy, but if the technician today can fix it, I will take that glitchy word out, and then we will hopefully be back up to full speed. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I am crossing my fingers real hard for it. So thank you for joining me despite all the glitches, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and I will see y'all later. Bye.